有老钱才能看懂这个视频。
Comment ça va? Je m'appelle Tracy, enchantée.
Enchanté Tracy.
Merci de m'avoir accueilli.
Avec plaisir, un grand plaisir.
Thank you so much for sitting down with me.
That's
It's such a pleasure. I know you're super busy. 就这个品牌正好是180周年，7代人的传承了。这个在法国也是非常非常有名的奢侈品品牌，所以我们还是让 Cyril 给我们介绍一下。Why don't you tell us about the history of these two extraordinary brands?
Sure. So actually our company, as you said, is 180 years this year. So we are celebrating a big anniversary for us. Actually, this is a family business. And today, actually, this is the 7th generation leading the company.
Wow.
Calling and having all the same name, Fremo. So this name is maybe not as famous as all the brands we are carrying, but the name of the company is Fremo Delors. And the full history started with a woman, which I think is quite something very interesting. And we started by doing fabric since 1845.
Wow, 1845.
Yes. But our company, was already doing fabric in 1845 and in the same location in north of France. North of France is originally a very strong region for all what is the textile industry. YD is Yves Delorme and actually OD is Olivier Desforges. So the two brands actually are originally coming from the north of France, where actually the headquarters is. Yves Delorme is definitely like the brand that we are selling, let's say worldwide. We are more than 80 countries with YD. OD is also very typical because it's a very trendy urban French brand. So the two brands are very their own DNA. I would even say that for French people, OD is maybe more famous as YD.
I see.
As you lived in France, I'm sure you know the difference between the Parisian people and let's say the other French people. I would say YD is definitely more Parisian orientated, whereas OD is much more, let's say, for suburbs people.
Personally, I notice a huge difference between like Paris and southern France. My family, we go to southern France a lot, like Saint-Tropez, Cannes, Nice. It's gorgeous, but the culture is so different. People even look different and talk differently. So tell me about northern France. When you say northern France, is it like north of Paris?
North of Paris, exactly. We are 1 hour by train from Paris, very close to the Belgian border. And actually, this is a very big route for the old textile industry. Let's say after the first revolution in the 80s, all this region started to produce a lot of cotton and textile.
So when we think about beddings, right?
Yes.
For someone like me, I care so much about thread count.
Yes.
So what about a textile or fabric from northern France?
Yes.
What makes it so luxurious?
Actually, what is a big thing, and especially in China, you like to speak about numbers.
Yes.
But I like to say that normally every people may have a different feeling with fabric. So this is a very personal relation.
You're absolutely right.
I am an example. For example, I like a percale. A percale, it's something a bit rough because I don't like to sweat too much. So it's something a bit nicer for me and for my body and to get out easily. Exactly. And that's why I don't like something too shiny or too silky, for example.
Exactement.
So that's why I think this is a very personal feeling to know exactly which type of fabric should be used. What is important is the cotton quality that you are using. If you are using a good quality cotton, it means the product will last for a very long time. And after, I would say it is a very, a personal feeling to choose a bedding.
Do you feel a difference in terms of sleep quality too?
Definitely when I succeed to sleep in a fresh bedding, like when I say like a percale, 500 thread count is definitely something that I love much more than sleeping in a very silky or a bit soapy fabric.
I feel the same. Actually, you feel the friction between your skin and the bedding. Actually helps me sleep at night.
Yes, that's true.
What about the design? Tell me, is it like typical northern France
No,
design?
this is very typical for French design and very typical for OD because the color are very strong, very attractive, very colorful, and also the type of flowers and the type of nature that you can imagine in spring in a countryside is definitely this Olivier Desforges.
I love the fresh color. It just makes me feel so fresh. I mean, when you look at it, it just looks like it smells good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
it's
see.
like really refreshing.
I agree. The flower seems real, actually.
I know, the flowers looks really. But do you feel a difference when it comes to design? Like Chinese customers have a different taste than the people from France? What are the major differences?
I would say that China, especially for example, speak about one very special topic, which is the wedding.
The wedding.
You know, in China, you have the very traditional one on the red with the dragon and phoenix, a lot of embroidery that you are just actually not sleeping on, but showing to welcome people. This is something that we don't normally do. In France, also, bedding is very important for wedding, but normally we sell white. So in terms of, let's say, culture, both of us have a huge impact, or we all love, let's say, bed linen. It's very important for both culture.
What are the most popular designs?
In France, we have a lot of satin and percale are the two. Percale is very typical French, in my opinion. Percale, yes.
Okay, I'm going to try to get a set of percale for myself.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't even know. It's the way that these threads bond together.
Exactly.
That's your personal favorite.
That's what
I'm going to trust your judgment. And is it one of the most popular ones here as well?
Yeah, this one is definitely selling very well for OD this year. This is one of the new season of the new collection we did for Spring Summer 25, and this is a hit. But not only in China, this is a hit everywhere. This is a hit in France as well. This is a hit all around the world for Olivier Desforges, for
This
sure.
one's gorgeous.
Yeah,
And also
yes.
it suits for any age. Imagine
Exactly.
like 16-year-old girl,
Yeah.
you can have this in her room, and then your 96-year-old
Yes.
grandmother would appreciate its design as well. So have you interviewed or worked with other bloggers before?
I did a few, yes,
Yeah.
but it's the first time I'm having an interview in English with a Chinese, I would say, blogger. So it's very, very pleasant because my Chinese is not as good as what I wish it will be.
Okay.
I live in China for 8 years. It's definitely, I love China myself, so
This is your second home now, 8 years.
it's my home.
Quite a long
I'm
time.
living in China.
Awesome.
Definitely, we go back home when we come back to China.
I'm so glad. And I want to say that this set is definitely my personal favorite, just looking at the room. And obviously that one looks nice
Yes.
too. So you have a very light design of the bed.
Yes.
And that just makes the room look more lively.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Your bed needs to dress up as well. You spend so much time in your bed, but at least a third of our
A
life
third of our lives sleeping.
So it has to be something fun and fashion as well.
For sure. And then when you walk into a room, this is such a huge piece of furniture.
Yes.
It shows your personality, it shows the
Exactly.
style of your home. So this is so important, and you can enjoy it at night.
Yes,
So
exactly.
thank you so much for having
Thank
us.
you.
I'm still looking forward to
Yes.
picking out some really extraordinary
Yes,
pieces
I'm
for
sure.
my followers. And
Yes.
I'm counting on you to give us a good deal.
We will. We'll do our best, I promise you.